Hello again, everyone. We are back with video number 4 with Narendra Kumar, and I am Richard Sharma. Thank you, everyone who's been watching our videos that we've been posting online, and really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, so we're back from Hawaii. Even though our background still looks like Hawaii, but we're back. We're back at our home base in Detroit, Michigan. So today we've got an interesting topic that we want to talk about. So the last video we talked about how he found his master, and how you identify your master, etc. Now we're talking about basically the different levels of a student who's on the spiritual path, who's trying to grow spiritually, and not just a different level of students, actually different level of masters as well. And after that, we're going to get into something really interesting about a monastic life versus like a regular normal life that we are all living. So I guess let's jump right into it. Welcome, Narendraji. So let's talk about the different type of students. Now that we've established people who want to go on a spiritual path, you need a guru. So let's talk about the type of students that we have out there. So, I guess let's start off with the student aspect.
It's actually not complicated to understand, and I'm sure we all go to school, right? And we have seen there are some good students. Usually they sit in the front, always trying to catch the teacher's attention.
Yes.
And usually finish off their homework and the assignment, and go home and study and do well in exams. There are, every class has some students in the back, always making trouble.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Always doing some other thing, maybe homework or lab work, copying lab work from somebody else's work.
Yes.
Not paying attention to the class. And there are in between students, So let's just look at it like 3 levels of students. Let's say high quality students, middle quality students, and low quality students. An example would be high quality students is paying attention in the class, is regular and consistent in doing the homework,
For high class students.
and is not afraid to ask the teacher questions. And if necessary, also goes out of the way to spend extra time with the teacher, if so necessary. And does his work, studies, and tries to do the best he can in the class, and usually ends up with good grades. Doesn't spend all his or her time watching TV and playing outside all the time. Sure, does it properly, but in some kind of balance, without ignoring the studies and the homework and the assignments. Then, if you go to the low type of students, a lot of times doesn't come to the class, miss a lot of classes. A lot of times doesn't bring the finished homework. Doesn't study for the exam. Is more interested in watching movies, hanging out with friends, and it usually ends up getting low grades. Never ask questions of the teacher.
Yes.
And you can assume somebody in between, and Buddha has called these by 3 different names. So the lowest level, he calls them the Kautuhali. Kautuhali, basically just curious.
Oh, okay.
Not serious, curious.
Curious.
Then there are Jigyasu. Jigyasu, the middle one, they want to know what's happening. They only want to understand some things, but not everything. And then the highest one is Mumukshu. Mumukshu are very serious. If you're talking to you, and they will sit down, take notes, even if you throw away your notes in the trash can, they'll pick it up and go home and read it and follow up. Next they see you, they ask you more questions.
Wow.
You know that they are waiting to take the valuable information from you and go back and use it right away. They don't wait for it.
I see.
Middle class student postpones it. Forgets it, where his notes are. Low class is just asking questions for the sake of it, or maybe not even asking questions. Doesn't care. I'm here at the school because my parents want me to go to school. So
Just
that's
for
the
the
level
sake
of
of it.
students.
Now I have a question on this.
Yes.
So it makes a lot of sense the type of student there, and I guess obviously based off of the type of student you are is how your spiritual progress will be.
Yeah.
Right. I have noticed, and I used to be. I'll admit I used to be that type too. This type of person where even if something good was happening to me, I would always feel like, well, do I even deserve it? Or I'm not even, I guess a very low self-esteem, where, oh, I don't even deserve it, or how can I be that good, or how is it even possible to be like what some so-called holy person might be, or like maybe somebody at a pedestal, like how am I even worth going in that direction?
Yes, yes.
Right? And I've seen that because I used to be the same also. I'm very thankful to my guru and my preceptor that that phase is behind me now. But I'm pretty sure there are people out there who sometimes feel that, do I even deserve this? How can I'm not even that good, or I've made so many mistakes in life, And they might be high-class students, but their self-esteem is so low. They probably put themselves at such a low level that they're probably not even able to explore their full potential.
I mean, human condition is very complex, because think about a situation. What about some student who's very confident and takes a lot for granted, and so making a lot of mistakes? So that's not a good place to be either. It's better to be a student and say, I'm not very confident, but I end up working extra hard as a result of that.
Okay.
So it's not a bad thing.
Yes.
So ultimately what matters is how much effort you're putting. And are you seeing results is all that matters. Because human condition is so complex. Sometimes, and I used to have a lot of inferiority complex myself too, when I was growing up. But that is part of being a human being, because no matter how wonderful you are, somebody tried to make you feel bad. Somebody's taller than you, somebody's fairer than you, somebody's richer than you, somebody's got fancy shoes and your parents cannot afford, or somebody going to better school. People are always doing comparisons and those things, and it's a trouble. I think the best way is to not beat yourself too much, and to always keep reminding yourself, look, I got a chance. If somebody else could make it, I think I can make it too. And as long as you do that, you probably outgrow those kind of conditions. Okay. And of course, a long period of time, and you will see that ultimately the effort you put in will show the results.
Yes, absolutely.
And that once you see the results, your confidence starts building up. Right. This is what happened with me. I started seeing good results. Oh, wow. Then my confidence starts building up. Yeah. And when I start confidence building, I start doing more better things.
Things happening in your favor.
Yes.
So you want to,
So when I was my confidence built, then I was more motivated to do even better things.
Yes.
And it's like a cycle,
So I guess for everyone out there, like he said, he's been through that. I've been through that as well. If you feel some level of inferiority complex or low self-esteem, don't waste your energy or time thinking about that. Try to do something, maybe something very small on a daily basis. Accomplish smaller tasks. It'll help you build your confidence. Yeah,
just remember, please, don't think that all these people who appear to be holy are necessarily holy. I mean, you become holy by your intentions and your actions you deliver and the kind of heart you develop. If you're a good person, you mean well for yourself and others, you are a good person. That's what holiness is all about. It's not about how you dress up and what kind of titles you have. So don't get carried away. Don't put yourself down. Believe me, spirituality and God is equal opportunity for everybody. Doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't mean that you have to be a Harvard graduate to become a spiritual. It's not true. Everybody's got a chance.
Yes.
Everybody.
If one can make it, all can make it.
Yes.
Wonderful. So thank you, Narendraji. Hopefully that gives some insight on the type of students we have and what we should not focus on versus what we should focus on. Coming to the second part, since we talked about students, let's talk about levels of masters that we have out there.
If you look at it, let's say we look at 3 levels of masters: high class, middle class, and low class. Low class masters will take your money, will not answer your question, is not available to you. Or if you ask questions, give wishy-washy, evasive answers. I mean, if you settle for it, guess what? You're the one who's going to suffer. So, please don't settle for anything like that. Anybody like that, who is not giving you answers in the way that you understand them. And if you are a third class student, if you give you wishy-washy answers, you probably won't say nothing. You go quietly, even though you don't understand. But if you're a first class student, you say, wait a minute, stop, time out. Explain to me again, what did you just say?
Wonderful.
Don't let him move to the next question or next level. You have the power and the authority to stop anybody in their track and simply say, sorry, I don't understand. Or you can say, I'm sorry, the answer you gave is confusing and you did not help me. It's okay to say that. I'm not saying disrespect anybody. You can say it respectfully.
Yes.
And you don't have to keep on going to such person. That's low class of masters. The middle class are like, sometimes you can see them, sometimes you cannot see. And also they may have some spiritual powers, so maybe some not. Maybe they are knowledgeable about scriptures and they try to tell you about yoga techniques and stuff like that, breathing techniques. Okay. But high class masters are very different breed. They have the spiritual horsepower and the patience and the love. And if they find out that you're a first class master, they will give you everything they want. They will give all their time to you.
Wow.
All the attention. And they will explain to you in the way best can serve you. It's a joy for them to serve you. They are not going to give you evasive answers. They will not going to manipulate you. They will not going to suck you for your money, your time, or your energy.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, I guess the best recipe, obviously, which makes sense, is to be a high class student and have a high class master. Then you're going somewhere.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I can say out of experience, high class master, they actually enjoy when you can question back whatever they're trying to teach you and ask more questions. No. This makes, and it brings more joy to them.
And honestly, if some of you are listening to this tape, are teachers, you understand what I'm talking about. Because to a teacher, it's a joy that somebody is really learning and paying attention and growing and benefiting.
Yes, absolutely.
As opposed to somebody just shows up and doesn't do half the work.
Why would you be interested?
Doesn't care about exams or grades, never asks questions, never even say hello to you.
You can only go so far.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So hopefully this helped understand the level of students and masters. Now it comes to, I guess, one of my favorite questions is, who makes the fastest progress? What is that recipe?
Think about it. Think about it. You have 3 levels of masters, high, medium, low. 3 levels of students, high, medium, low. If you just look at this combination, 3 combinations here, 3 combinations, you put them together, 3 times 3, there are 9 possibilities.
Yes.
You could have a high class student and a low class master. Or you can have a low class master and high class student. So you got problems. The best combination is high class student and high class master. They will make the fastest progress. But wait a minute before you conclude and you run out of the room and say, oh, I'm going to find myself a high class master. There's one more factor. You have a high class master and high class student. But if there is no communication between them, there is no relationship with them, they don't talk to each other. They only see each other once a year for about 10 seconds. You smell the roses and the incense, right? You get the blessings and you say your mantras and your prayers and goodbye. After that, you don't see him for another year.
Wow.
you have very poor relationship. So third factor is the quality of relationship. You can have a low quality relationship, medium quality relationship, or high quality relationship. You know what I'm talking about? You all got mothers and fathers. How close are you to your mother or father? How often do you talk? What about your best friends? The one you love, how often you talk? How close is your relationship? How often you communicate? How often you hang out? How open you are to that person? How much you utilize that person's expertise or presence to be able to open your heart about what's bothering you, what your issues are, and get some clear directions and help. So relationship is very important. So ultimately, it's not enough just to you be a high student and you have a high master, but if you don't talk, you have no communication. What's the point? You might as well be talking to the walls.
Right.
If you don't have a high quality relationship and a communication and closeness to your master, you're not going to go anywhere. So you have 3 levels of masters, 3 levels of relationship, and 3 levels of masters. I mean your students. So imagine how many combinations we have. 3 times 3 times 3.
27. Wow.
Get a piece of paper and try to see all the combinations. There are 27 combinations.
Wow.
You know what that means? Only 1 out of 27 person is going to be the fastest. Everything else is going to be slower. The fastest is one, high quality student, high quality relationship, and high quality master. That's the fastest one. 1 over 27 is roughly about 3%. No wonder people who make progress only about 3%. You ask yourself a question. Are you those 3%? Or are you bottom 10%? Or you are middle of the scale percent? It's up to you. You can choose to be whatever you want. You are the boss. You call the shots. You make things happen.
Wonderful. Wow. So I guess to conclude this, thank you, Narendraji. Try your best to be a high-class student. Try to find a high-class master. And once you have all those taken care of, make sure you build a very high-class relationship, high-class communication system with your guru, with your master, and you're definitely going to go somewhere. You're definitely going to make progress. So,
and if I may say this to you, you see, don't be afraid of these spiritual masters. A lot of people treat them like some kind of pope or some holier than thou person at distance. Get close to them. Sit in their lap, play with their beard, tickle them. Just like you do to your father and mother. Joke around with them, pick on them, crack jokes with them, and then give them a list of questions. And don't settle for answers which are incomplete. Don't say, I understood. Don't shake your head like this when you really don't understand. Because if you shake your head like this when you don't understand, you're not that advanced a student then. Then you are the one who's coming in your way. And you can change it if you want.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
These people, high quality masters, bring them closer to you. Believe me, if there are 500 people out there sitting in the room, a master is sitting in a room, you know how you tell a high quality student? Not the one who's going to hesitate and sit at the end of the line. He's going to go through and go sit right next to the master. And the master, somebody says, one of the organizers says, you can't sit there. He said, what do you mean I can't sit there? But he's got all our other devotees. He said, listen, he's the only master I got. I don't care if
nice.
he's got
I've
got 499. I want to go for it. Take the initiative. Use the power of love that you have.
Wonderful.
You have the authority to go shake the chair the master is sitting in. You know, make him smile, make him laugh, make him so miserable that all night he's thinking about you. Now you got him in the right place, baby. You got it. You got him, I'm telling you. Now you got him.
Yes.
Now you're going to get some special blessings. The supernatural power that flows through him, it flows only when you have deep personal relationship. And don't be afraid. true master is not about fear, it's about love and compassion and understanding, kindness, peace, joy, power, strength. See them flow all to you and see how quickly they will transform you. Your life will change. It's magical.
Wow.
Come into the zone of supernatural. Come into the zone of miracles. That's what Masters is all about. It's not about doing the grunt work and, well, I do this and I do this and I do. If your spiritual practice is becoming like a, like everything, the daily chores that you do, you're taking a lot of your time and you're not going anywhere, what's the point? It's like you're stuck in the mud. It's supposed to be as easy as a walk in the park.
Wow.
Keep working on yourself and your relationship and your master and yourself till you have made it easy and fun and games and joy. Walk into the zone of miracles.
Wow. It is your right.
Yes, it's your birthright.
Wonderful. Cool. Now, I just have one last question. Adding on to what you just said, doing the external work versus, building a relationship. I know most of the people watching this, that there are really two kind of broad categories of people. One is people like all of us over here in this room, the two of us, or people watching, who live a regular 9-to-5 job life, going out, hang out with friends and stuff like that, living the worldly life. And then you've got these special monks who either live in the Himalayas or in different ashrams and different places, whose only focus is that they're not out in the world, but they're out in seclusion a lot of times and working on their spiritual progress. I guess my question to you is it necessary to become a monk, become a monastic, become a wanderer like a sadhu in the Himalayas to be able to find God? Or is that necessary, or can it be done just like that or even better without that path?
It's not necessary. I'll tell you, that's the old Stone Age system. And I'll tell you why it is. Because ultimately, it's not about whether you become a monk or whether you stay a normal person living in this world. It's about sorting out what's going on inside of you. And more advanced person is the one who has been able to sort it out while living in this world and being real about it. Because it's one thing is to make the spiritual connection. And most people don't make the spiritual connection because they're so caught up in the worldly things. People are screaming at you, you're afraid of this, you're scared about this, and you're running around the traffic jams and office pressures, and your children are crying, your husband is getting drunk, that kind of things. That's what people are getting into.
Right.
So, believe me, there's a way you can live through the madness. And that you can do it if you have a good quality master from who you get good quality instructions which you can apply. And the same crazy world will become very sane as far as you're concerned. But as far as they want to stay crazy, that's okay for them. But for you, things will get straightened out. So the concept of monkhood was created in a way. What they did was, these people are saying, well, I'm going to artificially remove myself from the area that's causing me disturbance and the problems and distractions. So I'm going to sit in a quiet place in a cave. I'm not going to get married. I'm not going to have children. So the problem is gone.
So you're not solving the problem, you're ignoring the problem.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to go work. So no work pressures either.
Ah.
Or some people will provide me food. I don't have to go shopping also. You don't have to worry about, you're not looking for some fancy clothes and shirts if you're a monk. If you're going to splash your whole body with ashes, you don't need that.
Right.
But the point is, I can understand that it helps them. That was an old system. Because world is changing. People had a lot more problems before. Now there are more facilities. There are more opportunities. you have more access to better information and better quality standard. Your washing machines, your microwave ovens, you don't have to go stand in line to in front of a guy who's milking cow. You don't have to gather wood and bring it on top of your head so you can heat the water. You don't have to. You just push a button, it's right there.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, life is becoming easier and more comfortable and less distractions. But at the same time, technology is creating its own distraction.
Yes.
So all we have to learn is living in this world. Just keep a handle on distraction and noises. If you can reduce them, you will be more advanced than even the monks. You know why? Because let's say a monk artificially controls the noise, goes, sits in the cave, makes the spiritual connection.
Yes.
Now what? He's made the connection and God tells him, okay, go practice it now. Distribute peace. And he comes into the world. He never developed the skills of managing money, relationship. What do you think is going to happen? He's going to fall flat on his face.
Oh my God.
And that's what's wrong with some of the fake gurus and teachers, because they never address their sexual needs. They never address their greed. And what are they doing now? Look around. There are plenty of them. They are stealing money from public. They're sexually exploiting women. Look at the priests. In certain organizations, they've been raping little children. How can you even imagine some God-centered person would do that? Because he never addressed the inner questions and desires and didn't find a healthy way of participating and expressing them so he could grow through them to become a complete, normal, healthy human being. So you're not at a disadvantage. You're doing much better, because if you can find peace and joy and inner connection from here, and you practice that for you, that part is so easy, because you know how to live in this world. You know how to navigate your way in through the madness of this world. That's the idea.
Wow.
Idea is not just going to medical school and not being able to practice in hospitals. We are living in crazy hospital, madhouse.
Yes.
We go and get a sanity, make a connection with God, and come back and practice. The world is not a bad place. The world is just what it is. If there are people suffering and struggling, they are our own brothers and sisters. So any one of us who can make a little connection, let's come back and serve others with love and kindness and strength and power. And that's what we're trying to do, brothers and sisters. That's what we're trying to do. This is not a lecture. Just trying to share in our own way. And if you find something good, you learn something, share with others. Give it. Because that's the spiritual law. A lot more will come to you. Give somebody a smile. Give somebody, some old person a hand. You know, it's not about just giving your money. So many ways we can give. Makes sense?
Yep, it makes complete sense.
So it can be done. Yes, we all got a chance. When crazy people like us are making a lot of spiritual progress. We're not even monks. We are not sadhus, Naga sadhus, you know?
Right.
You know? Imagine there are people out there in Kumbh Mela in India who put ashes on them, and they think they're closer to God. Honestly, if being naked makes you closer to God, I think we should all meet God in the bathroom when you're taking a shower, right? So I'll let you think about the rest of the evening.
Wonderful, wonderful. That was amazing. That was I love that part.
Have fun, guys. We are all addressing serious issues. And bless you all. Thank you for being good parents, good brothers and sisters, good citizens of this world. Let's all come together, share good things, try to make this world a better place.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Narendraji. Thank you everyone for watching, and by the grace of God, we'll be back with more videos soon. Thank you so much.